Hello everyone and welcome to another entry in our Community Cast series. In this game we're going to have a showdown between the God of Gobos, who, as you guys can guess, is playing an all-goblin army, and he's going to be facing off against Julian Turin, who's going to be playing the Wood Elves. So let's jump right into this game and take a look at the army compositions, and we can go from there. So for the Goblin army, the first thing we want to point out are the meme lords themselves, the Tief Robbers. So the Tief Robbers are the regiment renowned of the Goblin Wolf Chariots. You know, they have a decent little anti-infantry bonus right here, and I think it's actually a true one, plus 12. So if they can get into the back of some of those Eternal Guards, they could do a little bit of work, but hey, they also got some sweet bow action going on. But in all honesty, they're definitely a tough pick against the Wood Elves, because Chariots, number one, aren't great against Wood Elves as is, because Eternal Guards have spears, charge defense, Wild Riders can, essentially chase these guys down, the Prey of an Othrama, all kinds of stuff. But you know what, I'm quite eager to see how the God of Gobos uses those guys. Aside from that, he has some regular goblins in the front line, and fodder units and kind of going wide with Chaos Marauders and goblins and state troops. It actually isn't bad against Wood Elves, because Eternal Guards aren't the best at cutting through large numbers of units. They're very good at like holding, but they're not really going to be able to cut through 120 goblins very quickly. And also with triple gold chevrons, because when you go all goblins, you just have so much money. So you kind of need to spend your money somewhere. So that's why you're seeing the gold chevrons on pretty much all of these units back here. But they should do okay in the front line. We have some nasty skulkers here, which do provide a little bit of AP to the front line. Aside from that, we do have the mighty Skarsnik. So Skarsnik actually is not a bad choice against Wood Elves. He has anti-large and armor piercing and poison, so he can deal pretty, not deal with per se, but duel pretty well with like Treekin. He can deal with enemy lords pretty well, and he does have the Prodder, which is a pretty cool ability. He does have a Night Goblin Shaman back here, so it looks like he does have Gorkle Fix It, which is actually, I never used it before, but seeing a lot of people use it to great effect to slow down enemy cav and keep them from, catching your units. There's some great utility here, so I definitely like that inclusion. Itchy Nuisance and Sneaky Stealin', so definitely going to be mitigating a lot of the, Winds of Magic for his opponent here. More goblins and kind of a similar army composition on the far side, the AP Loonies, Goblin Big Boss, and over here you can see these Goblin Wolf Riders already being beset by these Glade Riders, so that's definitely going to be rough, but at least they do have shields, so they're going to, be able to kind of block some of those attacks. He has the Ragnarok Queen, which is tough against Wood Elves. It's a big magnet for Starfire Shafts and different things like that, but by going in all Goblin army composition, it kind of just throws a wrench in the traditional metagame. So a lot of times people will bring, armies expecting orcs and biggins and things like that, and they might not bring like, Starfire Shafts. So this thing, might be okay with its 150 armor. On the far side, two Vanguarded Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, I think, one Night Goblin Squig Hopper with some Goblin Wolf Riders, and then a similar Vanguard on the far side. So for the Wood Elves, they do have two Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips, which I actually like quite a bit against the Greenskins. They can do good against Savage Orcs, they can do well against Biggins, and slow them down and really kind of drag them through the mud as they advance on you. Aside from that, he does have the Eternal Guards in the front line, and I'm sure he has the Winterheart Guard, which are unbreakable. Treekin in the back, which are going to be very tough for the Goblins to get through. And the Treekin, they can smash a little bit. They have a 55 weapon strength, and though they don't have the best AP, they're not going to need that against the Goblins. And then the back, he does have the Spellsinger with the Dwellers Below and Earth Blood. Of course, Dwellers Below is incredibly strong. He does have the Great Eagle up on the top, which, yeah, Great Eagles, I actually like them against the Greenskins because they're incredibly fast, firstly. They have 110 move speed, and you can use them to hunt down that Night Goblin Shaman who's hiding and trolling you with Sneaky Stealin', and you can actually take him out pretty quick. On the sides, he does have some Dryads, but no missiles really. Kind of a very, he does have missiles with his Glade Riders here, but not your traditional kind of, Glade Guard and things like that. So in the front, you can see the Ragnarok Queen does summon some Spiderlings, so it looks like he's just trying to optimize the amount of spiders he gets because it is on a long cooldown. But you can see the AP Loonies here are taking some missile fire. Nothing terribly devastating, but they have shields, and I think they're actually silver shields. Yeah, so they're going to be good. But very well played by the Goblin King here, using these Spider Hatchlings to push these guys back. And it's just pretty much a crappy summon unit that can really take that missile fire for free. But in the back, it's definitely going to be a lot of pressure on the Wood Elf player. You can see the Durkit Squig Hoppers right here, which are Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, regiments of renown, as well as the other ones coming in here. So they are going to, collapse on these Dryads a little bit and poke them down, but it looks like the Wolf Riders decided to retreat. So he probably brought the Wolf Riders to deal with missiles, but it didn't look like there is any, so it's going to be tough. But these spiders, man, just MVPs, just like hunting these guys down and making it very difficult for them. So the Goblin forces here are amassing, and it looks like the Wood Elves are kind of squaring up to meet them. Some of these Eternal Guards being assigned to engage on the far side. And he does have the male Glade Lord. So actually, before the fighting starts, guys, let's actually look and see what he has. So, okay, that's the difference. He has Call of the Wild, so gives +8 melee attack. So kind of like a weaker version of the Great Book of Grudges. So over here, the Goblin Wolf Riders and the Squig Hoppers, he might be deciding if he really wants to commit here, and you can see the Chief Robbers racking up a mighty 0 kills, kind of shooting in there, doing a little bit of HP damage to these Treekin. Nothing great, but still a nuisance nonetheless. And the best place for these Chief Robbers to really kind of thrive is going to be slamming into the back of some of these, high-value targets when they turn away. So you can see the Wardens of Sithral have turned away, and it looks like the mighty Chief Robbers, oh yeah, slow motion Chief Robber action. So they actually ride down a few of these guys in the back, and it was definitely a very unimpactful charge, but these Wood Elves, they're going to remember the name of the Chief Robbers. And also some of these Durkit Squig guys are coming in, I think, or no, these are just regular ones. So man, he's just like standing on that thing's head. That's pretty cool. So they charge in there and are going to do some decent shock damage to some of these Wardens of Sithral. Nonetheless, they are a very powerful unit, and you can see they barely take anything. So in the front, all the Goblins are coming in, and the Nasty Skulker is doing very well over here. And some of these regular Goblins have engaged with the Winterheart Guard here, and they're going to lose, but they're still, for their cost, I think, going to do very well. And yeah, you can see the trading's actually very even at this point. Although the 8 melee attack from the Glade Lord up here is going to help quite a bit. So Skarsnik is waddling his way up, and you can see on the far side the Goblin forces have pulled back. Definitely did not want a prolonged engagement here. And this is the dream engagement right here, getting the lads. So the Wards of Sithral, anti-large, armor-piercing, very, very good versus elite units. But versus, fodder units like these angry Gobos here, this is not going to be a good engagement for them. They're going to take a lot of losses. They don't have a ton of armor, in the first place, only 40. And look at the shock damage they're taking from those Gobos, man. Those guys are doing some work. On the far side, nonetheless, the Durkit Squigs have done a good job, and they're also rear charging some of these Dryads, and they're going to cut these Dryads out pretty good. They do have the poison attack, so the Dryads here, you can see, actually still confident. But, the Goblins on the far side are pressuring them, and I'm really impressed with the performance of a lot of these Goblin units so far. But in the front, it looks like the Treekin are kind of smashing on some of these Goblins. The Eternal Guards are being pushed back and getting these Squigs and Wolf Riders in the back line are, even though they're not going to do a lot of damage, it's still going to, affect the leadership of these guys. Because getting hit from the rear, I think, is like 12, 14, 16 leadership punishment. So it definitely adds up, guys. Skarsnik here, you can see Gobla. I'd love to see him eat some of these Dryads. That'd be pretty good. It looks like he was actually frozen there for a second, but I think Gobla and the boys might be pathing through to try and get on top of some of these Treekin. So let's go ahead and take an overarching look at things. So if we look, it looks like the Gobos still have 1,000 Goblins compared to the 300 of the Wood Elves. So in terms of just like numbers and trading of quality units, it's really, really favoring the Gobos right now. But you can see still several minutes left in the battle. And the Chief Robbers here are just riding dirty in the back line. Still racking up 0 kills. It looks like they're going to charge right to the back of these Treekin. They fear nothing, these guys. But, the Treekin aren't going to be doing a ton of damage to them either. So, I guess they're getting in there, doing their thing. In the back, you can see some of these Night Goblins, Squig Hoppers are chasing down some of these Glade Guards with Hagbean Tips, who's only at 8 kills. So that's definitely very, very heavily underperforming on those guys. But the Arachnar Queen has taken almost no damage. So even though the Goblin front line is, taking a little bit of a beating, and you can see a nice Dweller's Blow right there, really tearing apart those 8-peak loonies. That's something else that's really good. Like Goblins in the metagame of the Dweller's Blow, like they don't really have anything worth, casting that spell on. So the Winds of Magic is, you're going to be making out like a bandit a little bit. But over here, the Arachnar Queen is just chasing down this Glade Lord. He summons some Spiderlings to help pin it, and the Spiderlings also do have poison. So, the Arachnar Queen, a lot of people stopped using it because the Spiderling or Maternal Instinct ability used to be like a 5-second cooldown, but now it's quite long. Let's actually pause and take a look here for a second. So it's on a where is that right now? So yeah, 45-second cooldown, whereas it used to be like immediate, but it's still an incredibly powerful unit. The ability to essentially just be like, I don't like that, I'm going to summon spiders, I'm going to poison it, is very, very strong. So in the center pocket, you see Skarsnik and the lads are doing a pretty good job fighting, and Skarsnik with his anti-large should do well against some of these Treekin. And it looks like he is popping the stand your ground and walk. He also does have Trixie Traps. Actually, it doesn't look like he brought it, but you can see the Great Eagle over here had a little bit of trouble. It tried to shut down the Rusty Airs, but was fended off by a Goblin Big Boss. And you can also see the male Glade Lord here on the far side. It's really, really just getting punished, and it looks like he might actually go down here. So that's something I'm really excited for about Total Warhammer 2, is seeing some of the animations of monsters units. So like watching, I don't think like the vanilla ones do have those incorporated into the game. Like, but watching an Arachnar Queen like fight a dragon would be so cool if it like got up on its like hind like what do you even call these, like mandibles or legs here, and just kind of fought this dragon. That could be so cool. But as far as the battle goes, again back to the point here. These Night Goblin Squigs in the back have kind of isolated this Spellsinger. Definitely gonna break fur. We got some Treekin over here on the far side, which are chasing off some of these nasty skulkers, but I mean the Gobos are they're pretty relentless, guys. They're coming back. We got another group here of 53 Goblins. We got 50 nasty skulkers here, and it's looking pretty grim for the Wood Elves here. Yeah, and it looks like I think everyone's going to shatter at this point. So very well played to both players, and that's one of the advantages of the all Goblin armies. It's really kind of a mind game thing. Like, you come in expecting orcs, right? So he had some Eternal Guards to anchor, some of these Treekin to fend off Savage Orcs probably. He was probably expecting to be able to get more value out of these Glade Riders, because the Glade Riders against Orc style armies do a little bit better, because the Savage Orcs come in smaller numbers, so you can really wear them down, get them down to like half health before they get there. But shooting into like just dense goblins with silver shields and just all this stuff, it's very, very rough. On top of that, the Great Eagle, 63 kills. Wow, that's not bad. It must have been feasting on those archers back there, or I guess the Rusty Airs. But I like that inclusion there. Dryads are one of those units that, in theory, it always sounds nice. It's like, oh, they have physical resist, they're cheap, maybe they can be like a Savage Orc type unit, but they always just seem to fall flat. I've never had much success. If any of you guys have had success with Dryads, I'd definitely like to hear about it. Dwellers below is pretty good. The male Glade Lord, Prey of Anothrama, would have been pretty nice here. He could have like snared down the Arachnarch Queen, different things like that, but you know, it's cool to see people experimenting with different builds. And he also was doing like kind of an all melee build almost, so having that 8 melee attack, not bad at all. And of course the Goblins, you know, I liked it. It was fun. Nasty Skulkers, even though on paper they're not going to be great against much of the Wood Elf stuff, you need armor piercing. And if you're going to be going, you know, all Gobos, might as well throw 2 of them, you know, in the game. And they also do have that smoke bomb, so it's pretty good at kind of, you know, if he makes a mistake and he's able to catch the Glade Riders, or, you know, the Glade Lord, or anything of value, basically, the smoke bomb is incredibly good. So, and of course, Papa Skarsnik did well for himself. So, very well played to the God of Gobos, as well as Julian Turin Bar. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a Lord of the Rings reference, because my middle name and the name of my channel is actually Turin. I wasn't named after Turin Bar from the you know, the Tolkien universe, but yeah, cool seeing that reference in there. So very well played to both players. Hopefully I get to run into you guys on ladder. And hey guys, thanks again for watching, and hopefully you all enjoyed this community cast. Have an excellent night and take care.